So, in our last session together, we landed on this really powerful, maybe even kind of challenging idea that the life you have right now is a direct mirror of the standards you've been willing to accept.
But once you realize that, it leaves a huge question just hanging in the air. And honestly, this next question is the key to making any kind of real, lasting change in your life.
It's the million-dollar question, right? Knowing you need to raise your standards is one thing, but how does that shift actually happen? It's not a slow, gradual thing. It's not about hoping. Tony Robbins says it happens in a single moment, through one specific action that most of us completely underestimate. Let's dig into what that is.
Now, to really get this, we first have to dismantle a huge illusion. It's this story that most of us believe, a story that keeps us feeling kind of powerless.
You know the story I'm talking about. We're told our lives are basically shaped by these outside forces. Where we came from, how much money we have, what kind of education we got, or just luck. But Robbins says that is fundamentally not true. He saw over and over again that people who had everything going against them often achieved so much more than people with every advantage. The difference wasn't their circumstances, it was something else.
And this, right here, this is the heart of the whole chapter. Your real power isn't in your situation, it's in your ability to decide. Not in your dreams, not in your wishes, but in those specific moments where you commit and say, this is the new way. It's a power we all have, but I think most of us have forgotten how to use it.
Which brings up a really important point. If deciding is our superpower, why are so many of us so afraid to do it? The psychology here is really subtle, but it's so important to understand.
Just think about that for a second. It's usually not the hard work that scares us. It's the commitment. See, a real decision means taking full responsibility. The moment you decide, all the excuses, all the blame, that comfortable someday it all just vanishes. So instead, we hang out in this thinking mode, telling ourselves we're just being smart when really, we're just staying safe and stuck.
And while staying in that indecisive place feels safe, it comes with this hidden cost. It's like a slow leak in your tire. It just drains your mental energy. It chips away at your confidence, your belief that you can actually follow through on things. And maybe worst of all, it teaches you not to trust yourself.
This is such a critical concept. Indecision isn't passive. It's an active choice. Every time you delay, every time you put it off, you are literally practicing self-doubt. You're wiring your own brain to believe that you're not someone who can be counted on. And if you practice that enough, it just becomes who you are.
Now, here's the big trap that keeps us stuck in that loop. We wait. We say, I just need a little more clarity before I commit. We think we need to have it all figured out to be 100% certain. But Robbins just flips that completely on its head. He says clarity isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. The path reveals itself after you start walking, not before.
Okay, so if we're going to reclaim this power, we have to be really clear on what a true decision actually is. Because, let's be honest, most of what we call decisions, they're really just preferences. Just look at the difference in the language here. On one side, you've got preferences. It's the language of wishing. I should change. I'll try. It's soft, you know? It leaves an out. But look at the other side. That's the language of a real decision. It's a command. I will. No matter what, this ends now. There's no room for negotiation. One is a hope, the other is an order you give yourself.
And here's the beautiful thing about this. That feeling of control, of personal power. It doesn't come back when you finally achieve your goal. It comes back the instant you make a true committed decision. The power is in the commitment itself.
And what happens is this incredible shift inside your head. Before you decide, your brain is just spinning its wheels, asking, what if I fail? Can I really do this? The moment you truly decide, you cut off all other options, and your brain's focus instantly pivots from if to how. It stops being a doubt machine and becomes a problem-solving machine.
But this reveals something so crucial. We often try to logic our way into a new life, right? We make our pro-con lists. But think about it. Pure logic rarely, if ever, creates lasting change. Logic can help you evaluate the plan, but it's emotion that provides the fuel. We change when staying the same becomes so painful we can't stand it anymore, or when the vision of the future becomes so exciting we just have to have it. Emotion is what actually gets us to move.
And this all leads us to the deepest part of this whole idea. A real decision isn't just about changing what you're doing. It's about changing who you are. Every truly big decision is basically a statement of your identity. You're drawing a line in the sand and saying, the person I used to be,
The one who put up with that, who accepted that limitation? That's not me anymore.
Just feel the difference between someone who says, I'm trying to quit smoking, and someone who just says, I don't smoke. The first person is in a constant battle with themselves. The second person has made a decision at the identity level. It's just not who they are. End of story. There's nothing to negotiate.
Here's another one. This isn't about trying to find motivation when things get tough. It's a statement of character. It means that when things get hard, there's no choice to be made. That decision was made a long time ago. You're a person who finishes what they start.
And this brings us right back to where we started in Chapter 1. Raising your standards, it's just this. It is the act of deciding at an identity level what you will no longer accept. It's a final, absolute declaration that this is the new baseline.
This all feels incredibly powerful, and it is. But let's be real for a second. We've all made big decisions. We've all felt that surge of commitment, only to have it fade away a few weeks later. So what's the missing piece?
What is it that makes a New Year's resolution fall apart by February, while someone else makes a decision that completely transforms their entire life? Making the decision is where your power comes back, but it's clearly not the end of the story.
And that is exactly where we're going next. Tony Robbins says the answer lies in understanding the invisible forces that are secretly running the show for all of us, the twin engines of pain and pleasure that drive every single thing we do. Understanding this is the key to making any decision last for good.
We're going to break that all down in our explainer for Chapter 3. If this deep dive helped you see the true power of your decisions, make sure to like and subscribe to continue this journey with us. We're going to keep exploring these powerful ideas, one book at a time. I'll see you in the next one.